Good afternoon, everybody. Marty Richards with Richland Center Tourism here today, and we are out on location for one of our Why Do We Call It That episodes. And today we find ourselves on Richland County's only lake. And that's right, we're in Cazenovia today for our Why Do We Call It Lee Lake episode. So there's quite a bit of history here with Lee Lake and the founder or the namesake of the lake, and that is Everett Lee. Now, Mr. Lee was very proficient in business. It's kind of interesting. He first came to Cazenovia, to the area. His family came from the New York area, settled here, and then his first venture was to be a farmer. He stayed after that for a little bit, but about in 1900, the June of 1900, he kind of turned his fortunes more towards business. And it turned out that Mr. Lee was actually very proficient in the business world. He did a couple of different things here in Cazenovia. The first thing was he developed, built, and founded the Cazenovia grist mill or feed mill. And so there was a feed mill that used to sit just off the lake. I can remember it. It used to sit just to the north and got power from the dam here. He also started and ran a business in town that was a grocery store and a dry goods business. Well, that business actually still exists today. So he ran it for quite a few years. And then it was in about 1930 that he sold the grist mill, started to sell out of his assets as he got older. But it was in 1946 that he sold his grocery store to Paul and Irene Saltweedle. Now, what's really notable about that, when he sold that business still exists today because Paul and Irene's son, John, still to this day operates Saltweedle's grocery store here in town. So that gives it like about a 75, 74-year reign of running the grocery store. So we're real fortunate to have that. There's a lot of history there. And the lake was then named after Mr. Everett Lee here in Cazenovia. Now, the lake itself is really phenomenal. As you can see, the views are excellent here on a kind of a frosty Sunday afternoon. A lot of folks are out ice fishing. There's good reason for that. The Cazenovia turkey busters have really done a great job of maintaining the fish population here in the lake. Just in the last year, they had actually brought in 500 walleyes. And so they've continued to stock the lake, have kind of kept it clean. They had to do a lot of work to get the carp out of the lake for quite a few years. There are also some really cool events that happen here. So in February of every year, they have held the polar plunge for quite a few years. It's become a very large event. Now, there are new organizers for that plunge that we're going to start it this year. Because of COVID-19, it sounds like they will not be having that event. Also, the Caz Turkey Busters holds a large fishery that's always been very popular, again, towards the end of the month of February. They haven't decided or been able to make firm plans one way or the other, but they are considering that they will try to have that, but you'll have to stay tuned for details on that one. And then finally, in the summer, because it is a year-round sportsman's paradise here, basically, but in the summer, also, the Cazenovia celebration takes place, which is just off the lake at the Caz Park. A lot happens there. Really a cool, town celebration with a lot of folks getting together with great food and stories and just a great time. So that is the long of it. Why we call it Lee Lake, after Everett Lee, a very influential businessman, farmer turned businessman, and really helped to develop the city or the town of Cazenovia. And for that, they named the lake after him. So we thank you for joining us. We do ask, please share our videos so the people far and wide can see the beauty of our area and hear the interesting history. Thank you for joining me. For Richland Center Tourism, I'm Marty Richards. Have a great day.